Hey, Minimum Effort here, hope you're all doing well. In this video I've got two decks for you, a double decker, one deck for Selene Horseman of Famine and one deck for Ozymandias, the two newest cards released this week. Before we get to the decks, please remember to subscribe to the channel down below, but yeah, let's take a look at these decks. So the first card released this week was Ozymandias. Ozymandias is a 5-cost, 9-power card with the ongoing ability, your rocks have +3 power. So yes, we're playing a rock deck. What is different about this deck is that we're playing Moonstone. A lot of decks don't play Moonstone, they're focusing on playing kind of as many rocks as they can across the board to go wide with their power. With this deck, and particularly with Moonstone, it means that you can go taller with your rocks. Your rocks can be more powerful because in the Moonstone lane you're looking to put Patriot or you're looking to put Mystique, who is a copy of Ozymandias. So probably fewer rocks in total across the board, but bigger power in those lanes. Because we're also running Patriot, well, there's a few cards as well that give us extra abilities from Patriot. So let's run through the deck. So the Hood is a card that gives you that Patriot buff for the demon, because yes, it's a 1/6 on its own. 1/6 is really good. Obviously with a Patriot buff to it, possibly even a Moonstone buff, that power goes up for a 1-cost card. Now obviously the Hood is here. We only have one way to get rid of the Hood, unfortunately, in this deck, which is Nico. So it basically means what you're looking to do is have Nico in your hand and be able to play it before the Hood, so that you can either destroy the Hood and draw 2 cards, or you're turning the Hood into another demon, which is very good in itself. Other than that, Nico has just very good kind of all across the board functionality. It's good for kind of location control if you need to turn a location off, or if you need to move a card into a lane, Nico can do that for you too. So yeah, it is dependent for your early game how you use Nico, but yeah, when you do get that really good draw, the way you can use Nico and use her abilities, she's a very, very good card in this deck. Also to make a copy of something, so if you get rocks such as from Sandstorm, you can copy those with Nico as well. So yeah, here is Sandstorm, 2-cost skill. Yeah, adding those 2 rocks to your hand, give them +1 power for each of your front row characters. You don't need to have a full front row in every single location. If you have 4 cards on the board, that's pretty good. Like I say, you're looking to get a few rocks on the board, but then buff them as much as you can. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to hold out for the Sandstorm. If you have a good number of cards on the board in locations, play Sandstorm, get those rocks, and then try to buff them as much as possible. And then we've got Herbie. So obviously one of Herbie's abilities, not this one, not this one, this one. Create a rock here, set its power to 4. Obviously, that means you want to play Herbie probably on turn 2 if you have it, possibly on turn 3. If you're playing it later than that, it's very hard to obviously get that rock draw and have that ability with Herbie. You're then maybe looking to do something else, like doubling the card's power is good, or getting extra energy, or putting power in other lanes. So Herbie has a few uses in this deck, but yeah, that main one is getting that rock in its lane, because the reason for that is obviously we want those rocks. So yeah, Herbie, play it as early as you can to give you as much time as possible to have that ability to put a rock in that lane. And then Mysterio. Mysterio is here for obviously to be played with Patriot, because the illusion does not have any power in it, so Patriot will buff it. And then also you have that ability to swap the power with Mysterio should you need it, to get that power into the lane that you need it in. And it's whether or not that power is going to be more from the 5 base power of Mysterio, or if it is buffed with Patriots, Moonstone, like which one is going to be bigger. You can choose where you want that to go. So yeah, Mysterio, also a useful card to get 2 cards on the board for Sandstorm. Take 2 cards, taking up those spaces, yeah, to get those Sandstorm rocks into your hand. And then Rhino, a 2/5 Rhino, puts a rock in that location. Like, that's really good. Rhino, very, very solid card in this deck. Like 2/5 is good power, plus you're going to have, hopefully big chunky rocks in that location too. So yeah, Rhino, obviously a very needed card for the rock archetype, but yeah, but in itself, 2/5 is really good power. And then Mystique. Mystique is here to copy, obviously, your ongoing cards, and they are Patriot, Ozymandias, and Moonstone. You could copy a Moonstone with Mystique if you needed to, but yeah, mainly what you want to do is play Ozymandias. Sorry, you want to play probably Moonstone on turn 4. You want to play Ozymandias on turn 5, so that on turn 6 you can play the Mystique into the Moonstone lane, maybe with a Debrii or with a Prodigy, maybe to copy a Debrii and get those extra rocks on the board. So yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to copy something with Mystique and be in that Moonstone lane to increase the buffs that it gives. Patriot, obviously, like I said, yeah, yes, we've got the rocks, but we've also got those other cards that do not have power, do not have abilities, so we can buff them that way. And Patriot, again, Patriot can go into that Moonstone lane as well. So yeah, lots of ways here to get your power onto those cards, whether they are rocks or those other cards with no abilities. Prodigy is here because you want to copy something. You want to copy something. Is it Ozymandias? Is it a Debrii to get more rocks on the board? Is it a Moonstone? Is it a Patriot? Is it another rock? Just because then Prodigy doesn't have any power. So yeah, he can maybe get buffed that way. But yeah, Prodigy just is here as a really good option. Where how you set up your board, what can you use to copy him with? And yeah, like if you've gone the Sandstorm route, then Prodigy is really good for having, say, if you have got Ozymandias in a lane on turn 5, you can play a rock and then Prodigy to copy the Ozymandias, while also obviously putting other rocks on the board as well. So yeah, Prodigy, really strong card in this deck. And then Debrii, because obviously putting a rock into each of the other locations, really strong, obviously filling up those locations for Sandstorm. Yeah, Debrii very much needed, and 3/8 is so good. That is so much power for a 3-cost card that is doing what you want your deck to do. You want to have rocks on the board, Debrii does that. 3/8 is fantastic. And then Moonstone, because like I say, the cards you want to increase those ongoing effects with Moonstone are Patriot and Mystique, that is copying something else, whether it's the Ozymandias or it's copying another Patriot. But yeah, Moonstone really buffs these cards, and this is what you want. This is how you win these games. You go big in these lanes, and Moonstone is a key way to do that. So yeah, love Moonstone. Then Ozymandias, because obviously, yeah, any rocks you can get on the board, give them +3 power, and then if you're buffing those rocks even more, they go up to 6 power, 9 power. So yeah, really strong card. Like 5/9 is very good stats just by itself. So Ozymandias is very good for if you need to win another lane and you've got rocks in obviously another lane that you're going to be buffing. Ozymandias really helps win lanes with this 9 power. So yeah, that is the deck. So we've got Moon Rocks, had a really good run with this. Lost a couple of games, but yeah, overall very strong with this deck. So yeah, please give it a try. Let me know what you think down below. But yeah, let's take a look now at the Selene deck. So this is our Selene deck. This is called Fall and Prey. So Selene is the other newest card released this week. It's a 4-cost, 4-power card with the objective: have 3 cards with no abilities in play, steal 5 power from an enemy card here. So Selene can potentially be a 4/14 in total. That's obviously very strong, but what that gives you is a really good chance to win one lane while putting your power into another lane. And with this deck, you can certainly do that. This is a similar deck to a deck that Unfit Parrot put out recently, where it's just nice to see that we had kind of like similar ideas, where we are doing a lot of good stuff late game, such as Wong, White Tiger, Odin. That is a very strong combination. But then you're looking at this deck and thinking, okay, what can we do before that? What can we do? And a really good card to play is Caliban, because Caliban will have 3 cards that are 4-cost or higher in play if you're playing that combo, or maybe you're playing Doom onto a Wong to get extra Doom bots across the board. Caliban's really good for that, and again, it's -7 power onto a card. So there's, yeah, lots of ways to kind of take power with this deck, but then also gain power as well. So let's kind of run through the deck quickly and see what we're looking at. So Zabu is here because we've got 4 very good 4 cost cards, and being able to play any of those on turn 3 is going to be really beneficial for your game. And it kind of depends on your hand what you want to play. But yeah, if you have Zabu to play on turn 1, that is exactly what you want to do. Unfortunately, Zabu later in the game doesn't really do much because, like I say, your later game is set with those bigger cost cards. But yeah, Zabu, if you can get Zabu out on turn 1, that is absolutely perfect. And then Misty Knight. Misty Knight is a 1/3 that doesn't have any abilities, so that's really good, because obviously 1/3 is good stats regardless, and you don't want it to have abilities because then it's going to help buff those objective cards. So yeah, Misty Knight just as a 1/3, really useful. And then Cobra. Cobra is a flex spot in this deck, and I'll talk a little bit later about some of the other cards that you can put in instead. But because there's so many created cards at the moment, Cobra is a good choice. Obviously, it depends against what kind of deck you're playing. You might not be able to tell by turn 2 if Cobra is going to be needed or not. But yeah, Cobra is an option. That's all I'll say. But yeah, there are other options you can have, and I'll get to them at the end of the deck. But then Magus. I really like Magus because I've been trying to play Magus in a few decks to find like a more of a home for it and look at what you want to do. And Magus is really good if you play Magus on turn 2. Like, Caliban is the only 3 cost in this deck. And if Caliban is not in your hand, you can use Magus on turn 3, activate him, and steal that Caliban ability, because that is very useful to have. Obviously, if you can get a Caliban on the board later as well, that's going to be really good too. But yeah, like turn 3 Caliban into the turn 4 Wong, White Tiger, Odin stuff, very strong. That's a good way to win a game of Marvel Snap. But yeah, Magus can also, on turn 4, if you haven't got the turn 4 card that you want in your hand to play, that's a good way to say, okay, let's activate Magus, let's see what we can get. Can we turn Magus into a Wong? Can we turn Magus into an Isca? Like, that's really good to do. And obviously, yeah, it does depend on your hand, because this deck is slightly top heavy in terms of cost. But yeah, that is a good way for Magus to pull out those abilities that you might need to win the game. And then Caliban, like having 3 cards that are 4 cost or higher in play, very possible with this deck, especially with kind of White Tiger, with Doctor Doom, with Odin kind of making those abilities happen again and again. So yeah, that is a really good way to get that the best out of Caliban. That's really good. Obviously, Caliban on turn 3, ideal, or if you can use Magus to become Caliban, that's really good too. And then we're into our 4 costs. Obviously, Wong, very key for what we want to do in this deck. Like, the main play line, like I've said, is Wong, White Tiger, Odin, and then whatever else you can do around that. But still, just those 3 cards can be enough to win the game by itself. So yeah, Wong, very key for that, especially for what we want to do with those on reveals. Isca The Unbeaten, obviously one of the best 4 costs in the game, but I like Isca as that 3 cost. If you can get Zabu to hit Isca and you draw it for turn 3, you can see where your opponent has put cards already. It gives you that extra turn to kind of gain that power, but also for your opponent to say, okay, this is something that I need to be aware of. You can build up power in that lane if they've kind of gone tall in one lane already, and that enables you to then put that power into other lanes to win. So yeah, Isca, very good card. Even at 4, if you don't have Wong, you can put Isca down and you can still use that to focus on winning a lane while you play elsewhere. And then Selene, obviously just having Selene at 3 cost with a Zabu as well, having those 3 cards with no abilities in play, that's great. Play Selene on turn 3 if you can. Even if not, you've got Selene, you can play on turn 4. You can play White Tiger, and then you can play Doom on turn 6. So yeah, that is other ways to do that, to spread that power across the board and then steal that power with Selene. And obviously with Misty Knight as well was another option to get a card without abilities in play. Yeah, there's a few options you can do. So yeah, Selene, very good. I like Selene in this deck particularly, just getting that extra power, very strong. And then on Sabah Nur, so I think he is another flex spot. I think on Sabah Nur is here to kind of as a Hail Mary to say, okay, if we field across the board, but we don't maybe have a White Tiger, we don't maybe have a Doctor Doom, this is a way to kind of throw a Hail Mary, try to get one of those cards out the deck, or if you do have those cards in a lane already, maybe you're trying to get an Odin out of the deck as well. So yeah, it's kind of, you have to build your lanes accordingly for on Sabah Nur, because if you're going to take out Zabu, who's probably the lowest power card here. It's probably going to be Zabu or Wong, so you need to be a little bit kind of mindful of that if you are looking to pull a White Tiger or a Doctor Doom or an Odin. So yeah, try to have Zabu in a lane, and then you can pull something into that lane to replace it where you can get the most of it. But yeah, on Sabah Nur is a card that I could potentially see being replaced with something else. And then yeah, White Tiger on turn 5, absolutely fantastic, especially with Wong. Getting 10 power Tigers into as many lanes as you can is really, really strong. Yeah, obviously the same with Doctor Doom, it's spreading that power across the board. Very strong for this, and obviously that's enabling those other objective cards as well. And then Odin, because obviously, yeah, like I've said, White Tiger into Odin, really, really good, getting big power across the board. And like I say, if you are stealing that power then from other cards, that's how you win the game. So yeah, had another very good run with this deck. This is a bit more of a fun deck, but yeah, the swaps that I would make, so Cobra, I think Cobra could maybe be Goose, because Goose is a good way to say, if you play Goose on turn 2, your opponent can't put any obviously big cost cards there, and then obviously you can still get into that location with White Tigers and with Doombots. What that also says is that because the cost of the cards in that lane can only be 3 or less, it means if Caliban is in play, Caliban is going to steal that power from another lane, which is going to help you try to win, because obviously that lane you're hoping to lock it down with those Tiger Spirits and Doombots, so you want that power taken away from elsewhere, not that lane. And Goose is actually very good for that. So Goose is probably I would put this in over Cobra. Obviously it depends on the kind of the meta that you're playing, and what you want to see. Like I said earlier, on Sabah Nur, I think could potentially come out. You could put Doctor Doom 2099 in. That's potentially an option. You could put Iron Lad in as another way to, okay, get an ability from something on the top of your deck that you might not have yet, but you might need. That's another option. You could go with something like Negasonic. You could go Jessica Jones to say, okay, we'll play Jessica Jones, we'll get that power because we can play elsewhere. That's really good too. Yeah, there's a few decent forecast cards you can choose, like Danger as well. It's not a bad shout either. But yeah, obviously with Zabu, it's being able to get those cards out as early as possible. So any good forecast would probably work here. But yeah, this is the deck. So it's quite kind of a unique deck, so I don't think a lot of people saw this coming when we were playing. We had a bit of a rough start with it because we weren't kind of getting those combinations, but then yeah, once we fell into the kind of like the rhythm of playing this deck, really started to pick up wins with it. So yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please enjoy these gameplay highlights. Got some really fun games to show you. Yeah, please remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more videos. And yeah, good luck out there. Cheers. Milano gives us a Star-Lord. Interesting. So Nico into Mysterio is pretty good. Nico into Rhino is also pretty good as well. Martyr. Sure. This is going to be like a zoo deck, maybe. Washington DC is great for us if we can get rocks into that lane. If we can get Mysterio clones into that lane as well, actually. Rhino's fine for turn 3. I don't mind buffing the Mysterio rather than the Rhino. And the clone went into the middle. That is absolutely perfect. So yeah, our Mysterio clone's at 7. Our illusions at 3. That was pretty perfectly played. We've got Ozymandias, we've got Mystique for our later turns as well. So yeah, what we can do then is, because we have Curve, we can play Patriot now. Turn 4, we've got Rhino and Star-Lord. Might as well play him out to get him out. And then we've got turn 5 Ozymandias, turn 6 Mystique, plus maybe a Debris. That would be a great way to play. Patriot first, because that's going to buff the illusion as well to 5. This is Cerebro 5. So yeah, we don't have the tech for that, unfortunately. Where are they going to play? It's Rhino mid, which puts a rock here. We want to save space for maybe Debrii to put rocks on the board. So maybe we play Star-Lord on the right side. It did play into that lane, so Star-Lord does get the buff from that. Which is the Mystique, so yeah, they're playing big old cards. Right, what can they get out in their final turns now? We've got the Debrii, so... Ozymandias, where do we need to compete most? I think it's Ozymandias here. We can compete with power here, but it obviously depends what they do. Ozymandias here, into Mystique here, Debrii here. Or are we saying, actually, are we better off with Ozymandias here, a rock being here, Ozymandias here. Am I looking at this backwards? Ozymandias here, Mystique here, Debrii here, and that puts power into these two lanes. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. We can also move the power from the Mysterio over as well. So yeah, let's do it this way. It's Ancient One. Yep, they're going to have some pretty big cards. They've only got one turn, though, to put cards on the board. So Mystique, Debrii. Do swap the power. No, do we? No. We don't swap the power, because then we're losing that power that's from Washington, D.C., so we keep it as it is. And then we see how big we can go in these two lanes. They've played one card in the right lane. So Ozymandias being at 9 here. With the rock, hoping that's going to be enough. The Tau Mandala. It's not going to be enough, guys. Or is it? It's a Captain Marvel. Nah. Obviously, they didn't get enough cards out, but this is what you can do. 18 power in one lane, 32 power in one lane, 25 power in one lane. Yeah, really, really good. So obviously, I think that was the right choice to put the Ozymandias here. Then with the rock, that's 17 power that we put here. That's really good. And then, yeah, obviously a load of power in that middle lane. Look at it. Yeah, obviously in that location really helped us here. They weren't going to compete here. But yeah, 25 power in this lane won us the game. So yeah, cool. Playing against Sephiroth, guys. It's probably bad news for us. Nidavellir. Interesting, because obviously that means Hood is not a wasted card. Obviously, yeah, it means other cards are still going to have more power than Hood equivalently. But in terms of, yes, we can play Hood, we're not really getting much of a loss from it, because we can put a lot of power into that lane. Morag is not great for us, though, unless we can get Debrii to put rocks into that lane. What it does mean, we do want to play, obviously, Herbie. Moonstone plays are going to be interesting. Yeah, Herbie in the right lane. This might be our Moonstone lane. Sure. So Ozymandias we can play now. We don't miss too much out on that, actually, because that means we can do Ozymandias now. Turn 5, we have a bit more flexibility with what we can do. Ozymandias into the right lane, I think, is fine. Moonstone then into Nidavellir. Think first steps. I mean, if that hits the Hood, that's fine. They still obviously need to pull cards into that. Now, there is Debrii. There is a rock. Cool. But yeah, we need to... Yeah, they're going to be big with power in that left lane. But we're looking to win mid and right. It's a demon. So yeah, it's going to be Patriot, demon, Nico hitting something is not an option, really. So we're not going to play Nico. It's just going to be here, because then we can play Debrii into Nidavellir, and the Mysterio or something else, and then into Morag. We might want to play Patriot. No, we can't play Patriot last because we need to get... Yeah, it's got to be this. Yeah. Because otherwise, yeah, if you play Patriot last, you've then got a chance for Mystique. Cosmo's fine for us. It does mean we don't play the Debrii in that lane now as well. It's a Rhino, so yeah, we just do Debrii. Debrii, Rhino, Nico. Actually, no, not Nico. Rhino's generating a rock, and Debrii's putting another rock there. So that's a lot of power in mid still. They're going to win left. That's absolutely fine. What can they do with mid? It's a Black Cat on the left lane. Obviously now we do want the thing first steps to hit the hood. That was a Juggernaut that can't move anything. Oh, the Havoc's going to go close. It hit the Patriot. We win by 1. Holy shit. 26 in the left lane, but we won by 27 in the right, and we tied mid. That's crazy. Yeah, it hit the Patriot. If that hits any other card, we win, because obviously Patriot is still buffing, so we would have won that middle lane on its own, because the rocks would have been buffed, the demons would have been buffed by Patriot. If it hits the hood, that's fine. If it hits Moonstone, that's fine. If it hits the rock, whatever else is fine. Patriot was the worst hit for us, but yeah, we still had enough in this right lane with 27 power. Herbie, Ozymandias, Debrii, and a big old 7 power rock. That was a close one. Okay, Patriot, Sandstorm, Herbie on 2 is fantastic. Ozymandias as well, not bad. Not bad at all. Shuri's Lab, very decent. Oh my god, right, the bouquet. Okay. Okay. So, we would like to draw cards. So Rhino, no, it's not Rhino, is it? It's Herbie first in the middle. 6 is fine. We can put another card here to buff it. But Rhino in the left lane is probably going to be better for us to win it. Pixie. Love a Pixie deck. What are they playing? Nosha. There's a Mystique as well. So there's our rock. Fantastic. We will take that very much. Rhino in the left lane. Nosha. Potentially. Well, we might be okay. We might be okay. Okay, Ganosha. We can avoid it basically. We can play turn 4 cards in the left lane, turn 5 Ozymandias in the middle, because that gets really big. That goes to 18. So that's very strong. Obviously, Pixie. With Pixie, you have big targets in your deck. Obviously, that you want to reduce those costs. So playing a lower cost, big power card in Shuri's Lab is obviously going to be very good. Like a Red Hulk. That's really good for them. Well done, guys. So yeah. So we want to draw these cards. So Mysterio into Sandstorm. We really want this Mysterio clone to go in the right lane. Yeah, we really do. Drawing more cards is obviously going to give us more options. We're not looking at cost reduction from Mobius, so that's absolutely fine. Majestic Wing Beaters hit something with Pixie as well. Oh, Mysterio clone went mid. Okay, we can still play Ozymandias there, but obviously is a bit tricky. We did win the Asgard, so we draw Hood and Moonstone. So this is it. It's having Moonstone that turn later then makes things a bit harder. We do have a rock in this lane. We do have a rock in this lane. Ozymandias into Mystique, rock. Seems pretty good. If we can get a Nico, we can play 3 cards as well. Obviously, Hood is out of the picture. The rock. Ooh, hang on. This means Rhino doesn't have any abilities now. And the rock. Or Debrii. Hello. So. Which is bigger? Which is bigger? So we've got Ozymandias, we've got a rock here. So it could just be Mystique, Debrii. They've got to beat something here. The problem is obviously Shuri's Lab. If they do play something here, they're going to get big power on it. We're putting a big rock in this hand. In this lane, sorry. But then is 9 power going to be enough here? It depends on their pixie hits. It depends what they've got. They haven't snapped on anything. Let's do this. Yeah, and they're gone. Yeah, so Mystique copying the Ozymandias. We had Debrii to get 2 rocks in this lane, 1 card in this lane. But yeah, they probably did not get their pixie hits that they wanted, even though they got that red Hulk out early. But yeah, this is an example of kind of spreading the rocks across the board with Rhino, with Herbie, Debrii putting them down. Again, yeah, if that Mysterio clone would have gone in that right lane, that then gives us another space for Debrii to put a rock into this lane, as well as into this lane, and then the Mysterio clone is in the right lane to give us some potential more power there. But yeah, cool. Excuse me. Cool, we're playing against MA, Emi. Cool, so Rhino, Mysterio, Herbie, and Mystique. So yeah, Herbie getting down on the board as early as possible is fantastic. Spider-Ham is not good for us because, I mean, unless it hits the Hood, that wouldn't be terrible. But yeah, Herbie on turn 2, because it basically guarantees you're going to have a rock by the end of the game that you can activate to make that with Herbie. Obviously Rhino is a good choice you can put down as well on turn 3, maybe with the Hood's interesting because obviously Hood is a -3 card. You can still get good power into a lane with Hood, but maybe that is the lane you're looking to throw and put your rocks elsewhere. But yeah, well, maybe it's worth having that demon as well if you can draw a Patriot. Yep, just waiting for our opponent. Emi did not activate the Spider-Ham. And a monster as well, so obviously a monster gets buffed by a Patriot too. We have our rock, thank you very much. So, what we can say is maybe we want to throw... Do we want to throw? Sewer system could be the lane that we want to throw, but we could put kind of Rhino in this lane, gives us a rock. Debrii can put another rock there, as well as another rock here, so it's going to be 2 rocks in this lane, 2 rocks in that lane. You don't necessarily mind throwing out the Hood then, because then we can have extra functionality for a demon to go somewhere, even if it goes mid, to kind of get us to 3 power here. Sorry, it's not 3 power, is it? Because it's -1 power. But yeah, that's not bad. Another monster, so we really want to see Patriot now. And Prodigy is very good as well. But this is tricky because yeah, Prodigy is great for copying something, but we can only copy something if we put it now in this lane. Obviously we can't copy a Debrii because there's no space for any other rocks to go into, so we would have to copy something that's ongoing. So maybe all we want to do, or do we just throw the Debrii down to get 2 rocks here, 2 rocks here? We still got a chance of getting Patriot, Ozymandias stuff. It does restrict us a little bit with our play. Maybe it's just Demon. No, let's get the rocks out. And they're gone. So yeah. Okay, cool. So Sandstorm, Mysterio, Moonstone's really good. Obviously Mysterio getting extra, an extra body on the board. Rhino is going to give us an extra body as well. So yeah, the question is now Moonstone is when is best to play Moonstone, and are we going to get Ozymandias? Because it's kind of the question is those cards on turn 4 and 5 are great discard. He discarded the Sandstorm, gives us a Ravona. Ravona we probably don't want. So, Ravona only discounts Mystique. So yeah, obviously we're not going to do that. Herbie, because Herbie is now going to give us a rock because we're playing it on turn 2. So by the end of the game, we have a rock. That's great. We can play Rhino. So it's a real shame that we didn't have the Sandstorm, because obviously Herbie pulling something, a rock here. Rhino, the Mysterio putting a clone somewhere else. Obviously really, really good. So yeah, we're going to go Rhino mid. Strange Academy is annoying as well, because it does mean... Oh, it's been sent over as well. It does mean kind of we have to be very careful about where we're putting cards for Moonstone, if that is what we're going to do. We can Moonstone here because we can Patriot in this lane with a rock as well. It does mean, yeah, we are a little bit restricted with what we can do. Obviously we do need Herbie to preferably get this rock sooner rather than later. There's Selene. Selene's going to steal power from the middle lane, which is obviously looking good for them because we've got a hood there. So that sucks. There's a Prodigy. There is a Prodigy. So activate with Herbie. If we go... Well, we can't really because it's going to move, isn't it? The Moonstone might be wasted now, basically, because... Unless we do just drop the Patriot into this lane. We play the Mysterio here. Because we might be throwing this lane, but we probably want... Actually, no, we'll just play our Mysterio here. Yeah, we want this power to be with the Mysterio in the right lane then. But I think we... We're buffing a little bit in the middle lane with these Mysterio bodies with the rock, but it's not a lot, and obviously Selene is going to steal power from here. So we are at 15 ahead here. Obviously Proscenium will boost something that is played there with extra power. Debrii is unfortunately not great. How big can we go? Because we can just go 12 power here, so we go to 17. We don't want to swap the Mysterio power. For this card, we'll keep that power here, thank you very much. So yeah, we'll just do this and we'll see how big we can go in the right lane. Omniversal Presence turns that off. Excuse me. So yeah, even... No, they do win. They've got the White Tiger. If the White Tiger would have gone right, Caliban would still have taken power from Moonstone because that is the highest cost card. But obviously that power would have been in the right lane. We still would have won. So yeah, that was a 50-50 for where the White Tiger went. So yeah, again, the location here, moving our cards made things very difficult for us. Obviously, if we would have seen that earlier, we could have maybe played around it, but then it's hard because you want to put Herbie down to put a rock down, you want to put Rhino down to get a rock down. So yeah, it gets a bit difficult there. But yeah, that was a 50-50 that we lost for what we did. There wasn't anything else we could have done, but yeah, we just lost that 50-50 at the end. That's why we lost that game. Okay, cool. So Caliban, White Tiger, Doctor Doom, really good. Spider Island, and we have Wong. Like, this is a really good curve. Caliban on 3, Wong on 4, White Tiger on 5. If we draw Odin, we can play Odin on 6 as well, but no, Doom is pretty good instead. So yeah, really, really good. Grand Central. Grand Central can mess us up though. So it might have to be that we put the Wong in the middle lane. Yeah, I think they did snap. Interesting. There's the Odin. Oh my god, so Caliban, Wong, White Tiger, Odin. Something else is going to be put there as well. They haven't played anything yet in its turn. Are they doing Star-Lord stuff? They might be doing Star-Lord stuff, you know, guys. They've snapped and they've played nothing. I'm very suspicious about this. Caliban got a buff. Obviously we don't necessarily mind if Odin goes down, because then it will buff those White Tigers already. What are they playing where they've snapped already? I would love to snap back, but I just kind of want to see what happens. They've played one card. Is it going to be, I don't know, like Star-Lord? It's Black Panther Zola. That's all they had. So it was Venom. Sure. Isca. Ooh. That hurts, guys. That hurts. Odin, thank you very much. Oh my god. The Black Panther got absolutely killed by Caliban. They did play into Spider Island. Is this Galactus? Which we're fine with, because the Tiger Spirits just smashed that in. Are they trying to Galactus and they snapped on it? Yeah. We should have snapped back, but obviously, yeah. Yeah, they were trying to lure us with the Black Panther, thinking that they were going to Zola, but yeah, obviously this deck gets us into these lanes that you can't maybe play into. But yeah, I mean, look at this, 30 power, 35 power here, 15 here. We knocked a Black Panther down to 3 with Caliban, and we stopped a Galactus. I think that's a pretty perfect game. So yeah, cool. So what? Daily Bugle. Okay, so they're going to get a Magus on Sabah Nur, Misty Knight. We got a Mystique. Interesting. So, Misty Knight, I'm going to play right. Magus is great for Caliban, or for maybe pulling a 4-cost power draw. Cards of Olympia, fantastic. There is the Wong. So, Magus. If we don't draw Caliban, we activate the Magus. Then we've got Wong, then we've got White Tiger, then we've got Odin. Like, that's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Obviously, as soon as Wong goes down, like if your opponent is playing a deck that potentially has Cosmo, that's what you're looking at. They're playing Rux with Rhino, so them getting a card from us. I mean, they might have got on Sabah Nur, maybe that might have done something, but yeah. So we don't have Caliban. We activate the Magus. Breeze putting rocks out. That's fine. Yeah. Obviously, it depends how big they can get their rocks. Where's going to be best to put Wong? It's mid. We put Wong mid because then we can get. We're going to be putting 6 tigers out, so it's 3 here, 3 here, and that's going to be 33 power in each, plus a Caliban hit from Magus. So yeah, that seems pretty good. There's Mockingbird right, so yeah. I mean, they got a copy of Mockingbird as well. They did get the Misty Knight. That's interesting. So yeah, White Tiger. Into Odin. Yeah, this is the main playline of this deck. Caliban, Wong, White Tiger, Odin. Really good. Gets a lot of power on the board. But obviously they can put big power down with rocks if they do play Ozymandias now. We know they have Mystique because we got the copy of it. So it's Patriot. They're going to copy the Patriot with Mystique and then try to do something else. We might still have too much for them. Magus hit the Mockingbird on the right. I don't think we mind that at all, actually. That might be the best. No, maybe left because they've got more space. We're going to go above them in the right side anyway. They have played Mystique into something. Into Debrii, so it's another rock mid, but I think we're too big left and right now with the Odin and the Tigers. For the record, I don't think it might not have mattered where we put the Wong, but playing it middle, we know we're putting 6 Tiger Spirits on the board, so we fill this location, we fill this location. We don't have to worry about if we would have played it here. Do we get enough Tigers here? Do they all go into another lane? So yeah, this was the right play for us to be. Yeah, 33 power in 2 lanes. Really good. That's what we want to do. Obviously getting that Caliban hit as well on the Mockingbird. Yeah, very good. Magus being the Caliban as well. That's why Magus is in this deck. Caliban is the only 3-cost card we have. Magus is here to steal that, or one of your 4 costs from your that is still in your deck. So yeah, I mean, very strong. They didn't get the Ozymandias out, but they still obviously had a double Patriot with Patriot Mystique, 2 Debris on the board, Mockingbirds on the board. But yeah, too much power in these lanes. Okay, Doom, Cobra, and Wong. Now, Gamma Lab. What, they're playing 14 cards. I didn't see an animation come up. So what deck is this? Was there an animation? I didn't even see it. Thanos. I didn't see the Thanos come up. So yeah, obviously they are going to be putting stones into this, getting a few Hulks, which means we are not going to be able to compete there. Cobra will destroy a Hulk after the fact. Again, if they have a lot of Hulks there. Yes, they are going to have a lot of Hulks there. Soulstone, yeah, they're going to be pretty good with this, guys. And they've definitely drawn the Thanos with Space Stone. So yeah, we drop the Caliban. Can we get some more energy with Castle Blackstone? That could possibly help us. Sure. I'll stay for a bit. I'll stay for a turn. I don't mind seeing it. We're not going to win Gamma Lab, but potentially we can still do stuff with these other lanes. Isca. What do we play? Caliban. It's... Oh, we don't have a Wong target for 5. And we need Isca. If we're winning Castle Blackstone, we can play Dr. Doom and Odin. Or White Tiger Odin if we draw it. So Isca mid. But yeah, it is Mockingbird. Cosmo left lane, that's absolutely fine. Isca does get us this lane. So we do jump ahead here. On Sabah Nur. That is annoying because we probably would have played the Dr. Doom left with the Odin maybe and flooded stuff here. On Sabah Nur, if we take out a Hulk, they go to 31. It's just not enough, is it? 17 with Cobra. I say we got 2 Doom bots. Yeah, that's not enough anyway. We can't do that. So we need to try and win these other lanes. Right, on Sabah Nur, into Cobra, and then we play Doctor Doom final turn. Doctor Doom fills this left lane for the on Sabah Nur activation. Isca buffed again. Caliban hits a Hulk. Great. We have priorities. The Cobra is not going to hit anything. Could we have done anything different? I don't think we could. So yeah, it is going to be Cobra that gets pulled, but it's going to be for a White Tiger Magus or a thing. So yeah, maybe that wasn't the right play. Let's see it out. Yeah, on Sabah Nur is potentially the card I would swap here, just because. Hang on, what have they got? An Iron Patriot and an on Sabah Nur. They're going to swap out the Marvel Boy. It does become Misty Knight, so we don't lose any power there. What does their Marvel Boy become? Just King E3. We do hold on in that right lane for 4. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing with on Sabah Nur. It's like you need those targets in your deck. Like if you haven't drawn a White Tiger, if you haven't drawn a Doom, that's what you want to pull. Like having Misty Knight was 3, Magus was 3, White Tiger was 1. That's probably the one time that we didn't want to pull White Tiger, because we wanted that equivalent power here, and we just got enough power here with the on Sabah Nur turning into Apocalypse. So yeah, we did have to play that then in that way for Doom to fill those lanes to get that extra power on Sabah Nur, and Isca kept us locked down in that middle lane. So yeah, not the cleanest win, but yeah, this again shows you what you can do. But yeah, again, I'll say this in the introduction as well, but yeah, on Sabah Nur might, even though it won us that game, on Sabah Nur might be the card that comes out at 4 cost, just because, yeah, if you don't have those cards that you can pull out of your deck, it does get a bit harder in terms of maintaining power. But we won, so it's fine. Excellent. Oh, Rickety Bridge is not good for us. I mean, Zabu is. On Sabah is not good. End of turn happens before objective, so anything here would be destroyed anyway. It's going to be a real pain, this location. Let's just play the Zabu, sure. Magus on turn 2 can give us a Caliban for turn 3. Swan, so these are playing rocks. Question then is, can we... I mean, there's Caliban, so we don't need the Magus anymore. So what we're looking to do now is win. Because Rickety Bridge, these rocks are going to be destroyed. Tigers are going to go all over the place. So it is going to be... Where are we going to play? Wong here. Because I think we need this power here from Muir Island. Rhino, that's putting a rock down as well. So yeah, we need our Tiger Spirits to go mid. We don't mind one going left if it means it's going to stop them from doing something. Selene as well, if we don't draw... Oh, the rogue stole the Wong. I mean, at least they can't use the Wong, but obviously, yeah, White Tiger. It did go mid. Right. Caliban did a hit on that side as well. Isca goes to 6. No, wait, we need to worry about buffs here. Selene is going to steal power. Oh, the other thing is rickety bridge. We are going to sacrifice Misty. Oh, they retreated. Yeah, we were going to sacrifice Misty Knight into rickety bridge, and we were going to play Selene because Selene would have taken that Misty. Oh no, Misty Knight. This is an interesting thing. I've seen this happen before, where even if at the end of turn something gets destroyed, the objective kind of still counts it. I wanted to see that to kind of play it out. Because I've had examples where on Sabah Nur, opponent played Killmonger, took out some 1-cost cards, but then the on Sabah Nur still activated as if those cards were in the front row at the time. So I'm interested when these objective cards take this information to fulfill their objective. But yeah, that's what we would have done. Misty Knight into this left lane, and then Selene probably into this right lane, because we've got a very good lead here, and we would have hit our power here as well. So yeah, that would have been how we would have played that. Okay, so Misty Knight, Caliban, Dr. Doom, pretty good. Negative zone is not good. Really not good. I mean, obviously, Tiger Spirits in that lane are still going to be 7. Caliban, Odin, Dr. Doom getting buffed is not that bad. I'm going to put Zabu in the middle lane. So yeah, if we play Dr. Doom into that left lane, he'll be at 4 power. Isn't bad. If Los Diablos base could please hit the negative zone, that would be nice. I'm gonna put the Caliban in here. Sure. It's Agony into Adam Warlock. They're going to be drawing cards. It's a lockjaw deck, so this might be Hammer Bros. Actually, no, it probably will be Hammer Bros because Adam Warlock's potentially drawing cards to draw hammers. That's interesting. What we can do. What we can do, because we need to try to compete mid, on Sabah Nur mid, Dr. Doom, Odin potentially in the left lane. We put Doombots into both lanes, and then we're switching out Zabu for something else. It's not much more power yet as Beta Rate Bill, so yeah, they are trying to do hammer stuff. So we might have to play. Selene steals power from mid, but it's going to be too late. They're drawing cards, aren't they? Oh no, we can't do both. We can't do Doom and Odin. So Selene into... It's got to be Selene left into Doom left. Yeah, let's see. They did play something into this left lane. King Eitri. Jubilee with the Lockjaw, so they're pulling a card and then switching it with Lockjaw. It's a 4. Jubilee comes out and becomes White Tiger. That's a good hit for them. We're looking to win mid and left still, because Doom gives us 2 bodies. Selene steals power here, and then on Sabah Nur is swapping Zabu for something. It's either going to be Magus for just 3 power, Isca for 3 power, but it's going to stay at 3 power because the objective will have passed for that card, I believe, if it's made by on Sabah Nur, or it's White Tiger, which we would actually really like. Let's see. They're snapping. I'm going to see it through just because I'm interested to see this. It probably means they have hammers. King Eitri was only played last turn, so he's not pulling a hammer for them to play now. They do have Stormbreaker, so they are winning the right lane. Sure. And an Odin. And a White Tiger. Yeah, well played. Nice combo. Nice combo. So yeah, we do hit these objectives. left. Unsaved goes to 9. Zabu becomes a white tiger, which goes right, but it's not enough. And Selene steals power from that left lane, yeah. Yeah, nothing we could have done in that one. Because the white tiger was always going to go left or right. And ideally, we would have liked something else to go into that middle lane to have more power. But yeah, not the one for this one, but it just shows you this alternate line that you can play when you don't get Wong, White Tiger, Odin, what else you can do with these cards. But yeah, we didn't quite get the nut pulls for this, but also the opponent did play very well. Very nice combo here to get that power into these cards. Yeah, we stole some power from all these rest of these cards with negative zone, but they still had a 16 power 4. So yeah, cool.